for March 3rd, 2026 Board of Water Wastewater Commissioners meeting to order at 9 a.m. at Chatham Road. Excuse me. John Croft is traveling and won't be in today, so we have Commissioner Thompson, Underwood, Young, and myself, Noreen Donahue. We also have Jason Trapania, Sandy Seeger, and Tracy Elvis. So I want to start by thanking everybody in the department through Jason and directly for all their efforts last week. You know, everybody involved. I know I've been in storms while working for utility companies, and I know it's really an unbelievable amount of work. So I'd like to ask Jason to give us a little update on the storm and all the actions of the staff. Please.
I put together a little storm report for everybody, and I put it on.
Excuse me, does anybody have any lifesavers? Oh, I'm gonna have to leave. I got hit with allergies.
Oh. Ed.
Hey Ed, how you doing?
Good. I'll go see if I have something.
Okay,
What
thank
about
you.
with the cough drop?
Yeah, anything.
Do you want a little coffee? Because caffeine
No.
will sometimes.
How about water? Will that help?
I'm drinking it, thank you, dear.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah,
You get that tickle and you can't stop.
it's not gonna go away. Okay, try again.
So I put a little storm report together. I'll read it. It's between February 22nd and 24th, 2026. A severe storm impacted the region with high winds, heavy snowfall. During the storm, Harwich Water Department, Harwich Water and Wastewater personnel worked tirelessly to keep the water and wastewater pumping stations operational. Despite significant challenges, power outages required the use of generators to run stations, and internet loss made it impossible to access SCADA system for remote monitoring and control. Additional complications included down power lines, generator failures, which further sustained the department's resources. Despite these difficulties, the entire team remained dedicated and resolved every issue to maintain service. Below are some of the specific problems encountered during the storm. Prolonged power outages affecting multiple pumping stations, failure backup generators requiring immediate repair, loss of internet connectivity, restricting access to SCADA monitoring capabilities, down power lines causing hazardous conditions and delays, manual checks and operation of equipment due to remote system inaccessibility. The department's commitment and teamwork ensured that essential water and wastewater services continued without interruption throughout these challenging events.
I have two questions, if you don't mind. So you guys planned on all this stuff, and were you pleased with how the equipment operated?
Yes, when we went through everything, we did find out, and we did come across things that we didn't know about. When you operate, and this hasn't happened here in a long time, when these generators operate under a load for a prolonged period of time, they use a tremendous amount of oil. So within 24 hours, we would have to go out and check the oil and fill the oil up. And some of them were
Fuel
going
oil
up.
or
What's that?
machine oil? Like, are you talking about gasoline or are you talking about
The oil.
No,
The oil.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
actual oil,
interesting. Yeah.
like engine oil.
Engine oil.
How old
Okay.
are our generators? Are they?
They're all different ages. So we had some fail, we had some things that due to snow, weather conditions, wet, getting into a regulator that would stop the generators from operating. So we would go out there and change the regulator and they'd be back operating. So there are a number of different things that we looked at and how, in fact, yesterday we just had a meeting, a debrief on the storm, on what we could do better. nobody did anything wrong, but how can we improve on a situation that happened? And it was a really good meeting, and there's a lot of ideas, a lot of good ones. And we're gonna, in April, they're coming out to do an annual maintenance on all of our generators. So we were gonna have them come out and go through all of them after this transpired, but we said, well, they're gonna come out in April, we don't wanna call them in for a special, that would cost, so.
Was there any water in the snow?
Was there any what?
Water
I
in
was
the
asking about
snow?
groundwater.
Yep.
So we got all the snow, but did it affect the drought?
Not
No.
much.
No? Nothing?
In fact, it went down.
No.
You
Will
know
it
how
go
hard
up
I
in like-
shoveled and there was water in that. I know that.
Yeah, it went, I watch it every day.
I know you do.
Report it every day.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a couple questions. Knowing utilities, how was the communication between the field staff, the indoor staff, and you, Jason, with the town being closed and everything?
That was very well.
Good.
That was great. Communication was great.
Mhm.
Communication with all the staff, communication with office, communication with fire department, emergency, it was good.
How about with Eversource, did you have any interaction?
Eversource, yes, we did. We were calling Eversource, they were coming right out, working. We know that we can call the fire chief. The fire chief has a dedicated person from Eversource that we can connect through. That was another avenue that the guys didn't know about that we can do.
How about towards the end, frozen pipes? Not too bad.
Not too bad.
I couldn't, and my house was down into the 30s.
Mhm.
Naturally, I figured the pipes were going next.
Yeah, I don't think we got one call. Did we get, I don't think we got one call from.
We were lucky if it'd been 10
Yeah.
degrees colder.
Yeah, I don't think we had one call on frozen pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, generators, some different things like that, but.
Yeah, but I meant in the private homes.
Yeah, private homes.
Calls for up.
Yeah, no.
Anybody else have any questions on the storm? or-
I didn't have any problems whatsoever.
Well, I'm glad
I'm
for
going to
that.
Alan's next time.
So I just really want to thank you
Yeah.
and the staff all again, and please, if you can pass that on to the staff, to thank them for, because I know how tiring it can be day
Yeah.
after day. You don't know how long it's going to go on, and there's still a department to run, so.
It's just a routine storm.
I've never been through anything like this.
Wow.
I'm from California. I was like, holy shit, when does this thing end? Sorry, excuse me, but I was like, I woke up and my deck, it looked like the Sahara. Dunes.
That way when it doesn't
As far as I
rain.
could see.
I have to tell you, it was just a walk in the park for me.
Yeah, it really was.
You know, I've seen some serious ones here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I've never gone that long without power before, and I had nothing but blankets. I had no generator, nothing else, nothing but blankets, so.
Just-
I don't know how you do
Was
it.
it power like 4 years ago?
What, dear?
2 years ago. There was, in the spring, there were those ice storms. And the Cape was out for like
Yeah,
4
it
or
was a
5
couple,
days.
a couple years ago. I think I was
It is
without power
longer.
in Pembroke. I was out for 3 days.
Yeah.
You guys are a hardy bunch.
Yes, we don't know why we're here,
Yeah.
but we're hardy.
At least it's not alligators or earthquakes.
Yeah.
That's true. We get plenty of warning, that's what
Yeah,
I
I
always say. to
noticed- I
people. We
noticed
get
that. I was
Plenty of
watching.
warning, so. All right, well, thank you for
Yes.
filling us in on that, and now we'll move to the consent agenda. The minutes from January 20th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an aye, 4-0. And now we have the quarterly abatements for the second quarter. I would take a motion on the first one, which is the water usage.
I'll move that we approve this one.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
And I'm an aye. 4-0. The next is the internal adjustments for water.
so moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I want to ask Sandy, only that there's a couple on the water that are a little bit higher than I usually see. You know, on page 2, there's the one for 1,800, and then about 7 down, there's one for 2,000. So, even though they're internal, it was just a big enough number to pique my interest.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the 2,000 is a negative and the 1,800 is a positive. So that can come with meter adjustments. If
Okay.
we're not getting a read and then we get an actual read,
Okay,
we make an adjustment to make correction.
yeah, okay, all right. And so, a motion and a second was made. It will be the amount of $4,354.27. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. And the last one, we're gonna ask a little bit. It looks like a second
Yes.
abatement on sewer services. First one, I think, was just a little late fee last month or the month before. So these look like base rates to me.
Well, and this can be if we charge somebody that, again, there's 3 that we're removing the sewer base, and there's 2 that we're adding the sewer base. So sometimes we're not immediately aware that someone has connected to sewer, and so then we will backtrack to when they connected, and we'll charge the base rate for a period of time that we've missed. As far as removing these base rates, I would assume that they were charged erroneously or prematurely. I don't have,
Yep.
an explanation on the removal of them.
Okay.
We're cleaning up the books.
Okay,
All right, so moved.
cleaning up those sewer books.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So how does the, somebody become an active sewer customer?
Well, the process goes through OpenGov, so they go on, and
that's
it's all
why.
electronic now.
Okay.
So they go into OpenGov and they start the application process, because they also have to, discontinue use of the septic system. There's a lot of processing through that OpenGov, and it's electronic. So sometimes,
That makes sense.
we'll learn about somebody
You're the
got
last to know.
connected after, and we'll go back and backfill. And
So does the health department send you a notice that they're cleared on their septic?
Tracy, actually, in her role, she manages that process. So she will issue certificates of compliance once everything, right? Is that true?
Yeah, and after John inspects it. So that's the last
piece.
move. John inspects it, and then it comes to us through OpenGov. And with a past inspection, then they get it uploaded into our billing system.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tracy.
Do you need a motion to approve this?
Yes,
I'll make it.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4-0. Okay, so on to new business. And I put the item of board candidates on this, which was our meeting plan for last week, because at that time, we had 2 upcoming vacancies, and no people had taken out papers as candidates, and getting a little concerned knowing that we could drift into the write-in candidate process. Since then, one person has taken out papers. I don't know if they've been turned back in, so that's one potentially down. So I just wanted the board to talk about, questions about, I know the department in the past has advertised. I don't know what ideas the board might have, so I'll open it up to the board for discussion.
I know I've spoken to people randomly and in different groups around the town that I've been at, just as oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, there is a really cool opportunity for you to serve your community. But I don't know, the advertiser, I think we can't let this guy go. I think I will get the signatures for you if you'll agree to be on the ballot. You think about it.
I'd like to see the newspaper do an article about the vacancies.
Ooh, that's
Send out a
great
press
idea.
release saying, the town is experiencing a lack of candidates to run for various offices,
A lot.
and,
Are they open for papers?
yeah, to the
Oh, yeah.
27th.
They close the March 27th
Oh,
is the end.
okay.
I will get the signatures for you if you run again.
Uh,
You think about it. Sandy
You know
Hall was
Bill
like,
Galvin,
push 'em,
right?
push 'em.
I've
Yeah.
only done this stuff for 50 years.
What's 3 more?
I mean, if that's what the board wants, I'll be happy to contact Bill Galvin.
I think it's.
I think that we're going through some changes.
We're having like 2 different conversations here.
But we all.
Go ahead,
Is it just my position?
John's.
And John's
John's.
too, yeah.
Sometimes it's good to get new blood,
Right, I agree.
you get old and stale.
So how do we get that new blood? That's the question on the table.
Geez, I hadn't even thought about, but I'll shop around,
Yeah,
see if I can stir up a hot body.
well, I've been shopping, Judith's been shopping, a lot of people have been shopping and nobody's come to buy. So,
I got one and landed it.
yeah, you
You
did,
did?
you did. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have one who pulled papers, I
Really?
said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he hasn't turned them in yet, so.
He's still getting signatures.
All right, all
Oh,
right.
do you have one here? I can,
Yeah, I do.
okay.
We're allowed to sign.
Yes, we are.
So 1 down and 1 to go. Just so folks will know, I did verify the bad news of what will happen if we don't have a candidate. And what will happen is, after March 27th, if sometimes when they announce that the papers are closed, that causes a flurry of interest. And people can still go in then and get their name on the ballot. They declare themselves as a write-in. So that's a possibility for a couple of weeks after that. And then, of course, after that, if nobody does that, then it's the period where people can just write in any name, and somebody can be a commissioner with just 1 vote. I did look back at the elections for the past 5 or 10 years, and the average number of write-ins was, I would say, between 4 and 5 of probably crazy names. But of course, then, let's say they write Mickey Mouse, then Emily, town clerk, has to ask Mickey if they actually want the position. So they would then say yes or no. And then if all those write-ins say no, somebody else just wrote their name and they weren't interested, then it goes to the situation where it's like when a commissioner leaves midterm, when the decision is made by the remainder of the Water Wastewater Board and whoever is present on the Select Board, and it's a 1-year appointment at that point. So it's not a happy road, to go down. Having a candidate would be much, much better, so.
Well, I won with 135 votes.
That's right,
That's a lot more than Mickey got.
that's right, Mickey only got about 4.
You only need 1 vote to win any election.
Yeah,
Yep,
Don knows that, yeah.
yeah, that's for sure. So I'm hearing that the board doesn't want to take any action? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't think it would hurt to put out a press release talking about
We'll talk.
board vacancies.
Well, I'm
think that
looking
would
for
be-
consensus.
I'll make a motion,
Well, I don't want a motion, yeah. I don't wanna be
Well, my
forced.
personal consensus then is we do a press release.
Yeah,
Anybody
and you
opposed?
can talk about how wonderful the department fared during the storm.
There's a good hook right there.
Yeah, whatever.
I,
So-
I would fill in temporary as we go, but I'm not running again.
No,
I'm
I don't
done.
think you should have.
50 years,
Right,
That's a lot.
yeah.
yeah, time
We
to
need
go.
new blood.
Can you talk to our senator?
Damn right. I agree.
As bad as Mike Ford.
Pardon?
As bad as Mike Ford. He said 50 years too.
Can you talk to our senator?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing really.
Yeah, yeah. I actually,
What do you
it's
want me to
probably
do?
longer, but
Yeah.
it's at least 50 years doing them.
Well, you're doing it well, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what would you like to do? I
I'll
know
be
you're staying
85.
with you.
Time to
Anybody
go.
else want to chime in on this?
What are you gonna do?
What's your pleasure? What would you like us to do? Not you running, in general, to get another candidate.
Yeah, but nobody's come out, huh?
No,
But I haven't seen anything advertising it either.
well, that's why we're discussing it. Do we
Okay.
want to advertise in
I,
some fashion?
Yeah. Look, I think
Yes?
we need to have an
Okay.
article in the Chronicle,
Right.
the Oracle, and
Oracle, you're slipping.
describe how nice the
Yeah.
flow is.
Yeah.
Yes. The flow.
Would you like to do it or me, Bob?
I'll do a press release if you don't mind, if I work with you guys on it.
Okay, so are we talking about a press release or an article?
Well,
Stop.
they would have typically write the article, but I'd give them all the information to
Okay.
do it.
Sure, that'd be
You know,
great.
Usually with reporters, I find if you write it for them,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll take most of it and add their own spin.
Yeah, I think you ought to do a press release too.
yeah,
Stimulus.
Yeah.
Throw everything at it.
because this will really be a, go ahead.
This way and the Cape Cod Times, right?
What about radio? We were
Radio.
talking internally, like, we want
WOR,
that.
yeah.
That's sort of like the press release process that we have, like radio, newspaper, Channel 18, so.
I mean,
but
my
whatever the
personal,
pleasure is.
I'm happy with the local paper. That's just me.
Okay.
Facebook pages, I don't know.
I'd rather not be involved with Facebook.
Yeah,
as
Facebook's
a
a
board.
bit
We don't
strange.
have we don't have a page, do
No.
we?
We do.
The
but it-
department.
Nobody.
Nobody
no
looks at it.
activity.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're not having any problem with the quorum, so
No,
business as usual. I think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, but we'd still have to, you know, we'd still have to go through the election process and the appointment. We can't just say we're gonna be a board of four, you know,
Well, then the select board appoints.
along with us.
So you have to get along.
It's in the charter. Yeah. So at any rate, so we can move on. So at this point, we're talking about a press release that you'll draft with the ladies, and that would be for our local paper?
Yeah, good move.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll try to get you something today.
It's a wonderful time
Well-
at Harwich Water.
If we could remind us the timing on the local paper, I think we've already missed this week. Not that it shouldn't be done quickly anyway.
It's Sundays, I
No,
think.
I think we're good. Yes, we missed this week.
Friday, yeah.
So the deadline would be for next week, would be,
I believe Friday before noon.
okay, so,
Sounds right.
yeah,
Sounds about right.
2.5 days.
Give some breathing room, Bob.
That's good.
Much, not
Keep
much.
it moving.
And call me if you want any opinions. Okay, well, we'll see what that brings out. Okay, so old business. We had previously last fall approved our capital plans, so those are all set. There's been no changes to that. So we have Sandy here to discuss our water and wastewater budget.
And we have an update from what's been put into the packet. So if we could, you could reference this, that would be great.
Not look at the old one?
Right,
Okay.
and what's changed has been highlighted, and this is to do with the base, in revenues, the base rate increase had not been carried forward to the FY '27 budget, so you'll see an increase to the revenue for water rates and services. In addition, there's, it's anticipated that HEA, one of our department unions, is close to ratifying their contract, and it was on the agenda last night. So I have put those increases into the salary and wages budget, which increases overtime and longevity because they're tied to payroll. It has, Noreen said that it wasn't approved last night.
I can't be
but we're-
positive,
Yeah, so,
you know,
but it's very close, and so if it doesn't, it will get pulled out, which will then increase our net surplus by that amount.
I think it was just a technicality. I
Okay.
mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's possible,
yeah.
there's a lot of moving parts with it. So, basically, you know, I can review the budget summary here is our total revenue, $5,644,591, less salary and wages, $1,464,892, operating expenses, $2,020,450, our OPEB contribution of $50,000, debt service increased from 725 to 953,375, and our indirects are very close to that same amount. Our indirects are 953,613, which brings the total expenditures to 5,442,329, and leaves an estimated net surplus of 202,262.
I would say that, that $2,002 is
Yep.
way, way, way lower
Yes.
than we always like to be. We like to be about $1 million,
Yeah.
at least, as a
Right.
starting point. So obviously, we're in the black, but that is planned that way with the knowledge that we will be finishing our rate study this spring and increasing our water rates effective July 1st. And planning that out
Correct.
over the next
Yes.
couple of years. So that will increase that 202,000 by approximately another 700,000 or 800,000 for this year, and then some others going forward. So we'll be all right, but with the kind of projects we're carrying and the debt we're carrying, it's gonna be in tight in water for the next many years, no question. Any other questions?
No, no. Are you looking for a motion to approve this?
Yes, please.
Yeah, second,
Okay.
So I guess that was a motion and a second.
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. So that is our official budget
Thank you.
voted for. Now, let me ask, will these corrections and adjustments be put into the warrant article that
Yes.
already went up?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, once the board votes, we'll update
Right.
articles with the
Good.
town administrator's office, and Munis also will be updated.
great. Thank you.
Did I give you the water one? Yeah. Oh, thank you. And similarly, if you could reference the wastewater budget that I'm handing out, as there was a change to, in this case, it's just salary and wages. Wastewater has an employee, well, yeah. Wastewater employees are all part of HEA, which is close to being ratified. So I've also carried forward those adjustments into the wastewater budget. which is the only change from the review prior, which was many months ago. So the total revenue is based on what we've collected, an average of what we've collected in FY in 25 and 26 year to date of $210,187. Salary and wages, $231,317. Operating expenses, $635,045. Indirect costs, $128,082. Bringing the total expenditures to $994,395. Less the revenue puts, this is a deficit and funded by subsidized by the general fund. And we will not be maintaining retained earnings. Last year, we were able to keep our revenue for collected, but that's changed. So the revenue will be used toward the expenses, and that's leaves the subsidy for the town as $784,000.
I would point out that if people look at page 2 at the bottom, the indirect expenses, the method used with our indirect expenses has changed with every financial director for the past many years. And it started off with a policy that was developed by this board, along with, was it Pioneer Company or something like that?
Yep, Pioneer Consulting, yeah.
Administration, town administration, needs to come to us, to our board when they have time, and explain their new plan. It didn't affect the water side much, so no reason to, rip into that. But as you can see, this went up immensely. Now, it would have gone up quite a bit anyway, because we did gain one full-time employee, and that has a significant impact due to his insurance. Personally, I'm happy to vote for, well, happy is probably not the right word. I'm willing to vote to approve this, only because even though I don't like that increase in indirects, but it's a subsidized account. So it winds up being paid for by the town anyway. So we have gotten, Jason and Sandy have gotten assurances that going forward next year, we'll be able to have a discussion with the finance director, town administrator, and this board to get back on paper what our indirect policy was and should be. So I feel it's okay to let it go for this year, where it only affects the subsidized account that we don't pay anyway. So that's my feeling. If anybody has any comments or questions?
I'll move that we approve it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, well, that's two good things to get done.
Yes,
Good job, good work.
it's been a long process.
It has
It's-
this year.
Yeah, long budget season, from November to getting something in right away through just various changes. And so it'll be great to have this finalized. Thank you.
Okay, so the next item I put on the agenda was a follow-up to our discussion last meeting about what we feel is definitely an error in our retained earnings for wastewater. I'll start by saying that Jason, Sandy, and I attended the FinCom meeting last Thursday night, and it was a truncated meeting with the storm. They had to close the building early, so, our times were short, but having watched it again, I feel it went really, really well. And the main thing about it that made me feel really good about it was it gave me a chance to say publicly that whatever errors have been made over the past 4 years with different finance directors, that I wanted to remind people to be very careful with their language, because town administration had been using the word "they." You know, they did this, they did that, they might have done this, they might have done that. And we know that when they said they meant previous finance directors. But it would be very easy for the public to think, when they said they, that they meant Sandy or our staff, which just totally was not true. I was glad to hear Jay, our incoming town administrator, mention, and Jen, that the things that had caused these problems were town entries and probably had nothing to do with this department, absolutely nothing to do with it. So it was a real relief to tell them to be careful of what they say, and I use the words in maligning our staff, you know, and to be very careful going forward. Just as when we say previous finance directors, we don't mean the lady who's in charge right now. When they say there are errors, it doesn't mean us, and they should be crystal clear about that with the public. So now I feel better.
And thank you, Noreen, once
Yeah.
again for that, because, you know, that term, they can be interpreted as many different things, and I didn't pick up on it as much as, you know, you did. You tune into the evening meeting, so it was select board, it was a FinCom meeting, where, you know,
Yeah.
and we're a startup, and the appearance, or it could be thought of as that we made mistakes here, to cause a deficit in the wastewater enterprise fund, and it wasn't the case, it's not the case.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of transition, but thank you, Noreen, for bringing that to everyone's attention, and I appreciate it,
Yeah.
and the department does too.
Good.
That's like getting a dead horse. God.
So I feel good that Jay and definitely Jay and Jen will carry that sentiment going forward over their discussions over the next few months. So as to the deficit itself, remember, it's almost a technical point, because if we had our correct amount, the town would take it anyway. You know, we're not hurt in any way, but we want reporting to be correct. So they're working very hard on that. You could tell they were, and Jen, the new finance director, calls it her nemesis. You know, there's been a lot of things going on over the few years with numbers that really don't have anything to do with us. But at any rate, that situation seems to be working its way out as they have time. The thing that I haven't had a conclusive answer on, I got a few inquiries, was the letter requesting, which is really kind of a separate issue, but equally as important, requesting a audit specifically on the wastewater enterprise fund. I did get some feedback from Pete Piekoski, our liaison. Not much from, you know, nothing, well, not much from the chair or anything, but they are incredibly busy up there right now, there's no question about it. But I'm suggesting that Jay will be starting next week, and, you know, 10 minutes after he's settled, I'm suggesting that, you know, Jason's gonna have to work with him a lot going forward with these projects. And I'm suggesting that he raise that issue of, I understand they've started the FY25 audit, the regular one, when they usually put extra. I'm disappointed we didn't get an answer yet, but I watched those meetings, and trying to get a warrant together and get a budget together by April 1st is really gonna be a miracle. They're killing themselves, you know.
Question,
Yeah,
are these two sheets, they're both free cash certification,
yep,
but, let's see, this one here that was done on the 22nd of December, at 857,000 in plus free cash. This one done on the 22nd has
yep,
free cash of 4 million.
One's water, one's sewer, Alan.
Oh,
Yeah, the first one, you see, that's that minus 76,000 I've been talking about. That's sewer.
oh, I got it
Yeah.
now. I
These-
see, I
these-
missed that little
Yeah, I
one.
missed the
These
word at the
forms-
top too.
Okay.
These
I'm
forms
cool.
are from the state. We
Yeah.
wouldn't design anything
All
this
right.
ugly. Yeah, so
Give a
that's the
little
sewer one.
highlight, yeah.
And the one behind it, the 2.6 million, that's what we have in water
Yeah,
to help pay for our projects.
yeah, okay. I'm looking at
And
it.
this is the entry here,
Oh.
that we did not enter this, we don't do any part of this.
Okay.
But it makes us having this deficit.
Yeah.
So this is what it
Okay.
has brought up the issue of requesting an audit.
Oh, yeah, got it. All right.
So, as I say, we really still are requesting that. And I think maybe when Jason and Jay get together, we'll see what develops out of that.
And would that be an internal audit, or what's your vision of that? Or is it like
It would-
an auditing company coming in separately, third party?
It would be the same as was done, as they always do for spot audits. There may be another word to call it, like they did for the transfer station, for CPC, for the revolving funds. You know, they very traditionally have your regular audit, and then they have a focused audit.
Who's the they?
They are our auditors, our auditing firm.
The town puts it out to bid or
That's
selects
my
a vendor
question.
for like
Yeah.
a period of time. So it's
Gotcha.
usually the same company or same vendor
I don't
for about
think
3
they've put it out
years.
to bid in a long time.
I know,
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
It's just
Yeah.
that the firm has changed names.
Well, maybe,
Now it's
okay, maybe
CBIZ.
that's it, because
Yeah.
I usually, every year when this happens, they're reaching out to me to ask questions.
Gotcha.
And every year it's different questions, so it's really thorough, but
To your question also, though, the new finance director prefers to do things internally, but in this case, I would really insist, for the sake of the hundreds of people who spent time on wastewater and the $120 million that have been appropriated, we'd like to see our regular outside independent auditors do it and tie it up in a nice package. Just like they've done, like I said, for revolving funds, for CPC, for the transfer station, for many others. So,
And then, so theoretically, just to make it really simple, the wastewater enterprise fund should eventually be functioning as the water fund does, from an accounting perspective.
be a long time.
Will it take, it'll probably take
Yes,
5 years or
right?
something, right?
when
Maybe
we have more
longer.
customers online,
Yeah.
and the plan, I believe, for the CWMP is only 40% of the town, so, and hopefully in time, but it could take a decade
It could
or
be,
more.
yeah, it could take quite a
And
bit.
from, so do you look at them separately, always?
The water and wastewater?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, so they're separate, and, yes, but we don't have any debt coming out of the wastewater enterprise fund. And that may be this entry that was made.
We're not taking on the 150 million in this department?
No,
No?
no. Oh, you're being facetious. Okay.
You got it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And that's what we want to avoid,
Nothing
right?
stayed though.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
I will move on to superintendent's report.
Superintendent's report. Okay. Route 28, Phase 2 and Phase 1.
No. You got the permit?
No, I did not. That's why I'm putting those together. No update.
That was a setup.
It's status quo. I've been checking every day for the permit, and it's still in draft, and we've been, yeah.
Well, you know, there was a blizzard, so.
Yeah.
Was that 2
So-
years ago?
Yeah.
Was it started?
I am still trying to get their attention, so, but they said it could take a while for this whole permit to come in draft.
I have the answer. They'll let you know July 1st.
Yes. I know.
The people,
It started on the 5th.
And they don't even have the contract signed for the Mass DOT with their contractor yet. So they put it out to bid, and from my understanding, they don't have a start date or the contractor signed that was low bidder. So that's sort of at a standstill.
And that was from last fall.
Yeah, that was from last fall.
Yeah.
That was, it
And-
was bid in
And,
November.
and also, it was interesting to see Thursday night. You noticed Scott Norum was on the screen as one of the Zooming in
Yes,
people.
yes.
And he had heard the exact same information from us. He's on Capital Outlay
Yeah.
the previous November. So now people are starting to notice that it's been going on 2 years, you know, so.
Well, I can tell you, the sidewalk thing around the elementary school. So that's where I live, and nobody could answer, and this was like 8 months ago, nobody could answer me when this was happening. Was it happening at the town? They kept saying, call the state. So I called the state, and it took me 3 weeks of phone calls to get truncated with the right person. And we went back and forth with emails, and then it like opened a Pandora's box, and it started moving. So as a citizen of this town, I'd be happy to start making phone calls if that's helpful. Because otherwise it's going to be another 6 months because of they can't,
No,
right?
so we can't, they can't do anything anyways in the summertime, so
right.
I'm just hoping we get that, we can have it bid and we can start in the fall.
Yeah.
That's, fingers crossed that's
Yeah.
what takes place, summertime bid,
Yeah.
fall would start.
And calendar-wise, is that enough? Do we still have a buffer of time to get that done?
Yeah.
And they haven't changed any regulatory things that are holding things up?
No. The only thing that's probably slowing it down is the bridge.
Oh, you know
That's
what?
the only thing I can think, it's like they're concentrating on this bridge. So I don't know. We're trying.
You know what we should have done? We should have done phase 2 and started like a quarter of a mile beyond the bridge. So we didn't have the bridge in that at all.
No.
Really?
You're talking about the big
I'm
bridge.
talking about the Sagamore Bridge.
Oh.
I'm talking about the Sagamore Bridge. Everybody's concentrating on
But that's a
spending.
good
But that would have been a better plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way we would have had one that was crystal clean project. Honest, how did we miss that?
I don't believe they even know how to talk about the Sagamore or Bourne Bridge.
I don't,
You know, it's been there my lifetime plus.
I have friends that
So am I
that got their
purview.
houses taken.
Oh, no.
So sad.
But I guess the upside of that is it's gonna take a decade before that actually happens, right?
They're
Or
already taking houses.
should have
They're
seen
already-
literally
Oh, yeah, they're already taking them.
We should have seen what it was like just to have them painted.
Yeah.
I
okay,
think once in my lifetime.
Yeah.
next.
Okay, new well number 15, there is no update there. They're still working with the state on moving that forward, getting the permits. Apex on a hydraulic model. They are going to be, when it starts getting a little warmer here, they have to do about 32 hydrant flow tests in town. So they're gonna be flowing hydrants all over town, getting the flow, the pressure of them, and they're gonna be calculating the model, putting the final touches on the hydraulic model. So we were hoping if we didn't have that bad of a winter, that we could get out there and do flow tests middle of March, but it's looking like the beginning of April. So we'll be out, and they'll be doing different ones all over town. So that's what we'll be doing there. Cybersecurity, that's a work in progress. We're always gonna be working on that. That is a big topic. Asset management grant that we applied for.
Got it?
We did not get it.
Okay.
I know, I'm the bearer of bad news today, sorry.
Oh, can I ask you one quick question,
Yep.
Jason? About the cyber stuff? Because a few people asked me, when the 911 system went down for a few hours, that's like nothing to do with the water.
Nothing to do with us.
Thank you, just
Totally
wanted
two
to,
separate systems, yep. The asset management grant, we did not get. The state only awarded 2 this year, so they cut back a
Wow.
lot. Usually there's a lot more than that,
yeah,
and they cut way back.
they probably didn't get their federal funds to match.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but they couldn't believe it, so. The observation well, the Brewster observation well for groundwater. Bob, we were just talking about this, right now it's 33.01. Okay, the beginning of March, for us to have no water restrictions, it needed to be 31.51. So we're about 1.5 feet
Wow.
is how much we need. So I'm constantly monitoring that. From starting in March, we have to really monitor that for the state now. And as of now, there will be water restrictions the same as last year unless that water table comes up.
So Jason, I'm thinking that should go on the next agenda, that we vote those, that way we're covered through September. Vote those, it's not gonna change.
Yeah,
When I haven't looked at the chart yet this year, but my understanding of the two different criteria is we either vote March to September and be done with it, or we wait and go the month by month, that we're never gonna,
I would hold off on that
okay.
because I have to submit a water restriction in May. So,
All right.
yeah, I would wait a little bit.
Put it on
that.
your notebook
I
then,
will.
instead
I
of
have
on
that.
mine.
I
All
have
right.
that right here. I
Yeah.
will. I'll do
Because I
that.
can't remember if we took them off last fall, or if we just kind of let them ride, but we need to vocalize our
Yes.
opinion anyway with a vote, so.
Yes,
All right.
per our Water Management Act, this has to stay below for 60
Yeah.
days. For some reason, it goes above our trigger point for 60 days. We can lift that, but right now, I don't foresee that. This level has been this way since
To
last
put it in
year.
perspective, we're a half a foot worse than we were last year, and last year is bad. So, I mean, we're gonna have water restrictions, there's no question.
Wow.
So one question I have is if it's anticipated that we're gonna have water restrictions, and if folks that have all the sprinkler systems, would they wanna know that sooner rather than later, so that they're not paying for their spring? I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Their irrigation system maybe needed to be set differently for the water restrictions.
Yes. So.
And wish John was here as a plumber. He'd probably,
Yeah,
we
he'd
seem to
know.
already get requests for turn-ons.
Already?
You'd be
Wow,
surprised,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
trickling in,
April,
yeah, they're
they
trickling in.
I'll
Yeah,
know by
but
the
you
end of
mean,
March.
you mean seasonal turn-ons, you don't mean irrigation turn-ons.
No, seasonal turn-ons, which
Right.
most of those customers
Right.
have irrigation.
Right.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
And the seasonal turn-ons for some of the customers their irrigation is seasonal. So that could affect them. So when their irrigation people are out there turning it on, they can adjust those. So I should know by the next meeting on when the next meeting is, how far we're gonna go in to everything.
Because a lot of
I don't
it's
see,
digital
I
now,
don't
right?
see it. I
Well,
think we're gonna have these
Oh, yeah,
restrictions through the summer.
no question.
yeah.
And here's another topic here, the electrician's vehicle, that got totaled. Nothing, it was an accident, the doors on the side got damaged on the van. With this vehicle, we brought it to the body shop to get repaired. They could not find any new parts for this van, any new doors for the van. So the insurance company totaled it.
Oh.
Is that Alan's old car?
Then
Couldn't find
So-
parts for a car, Alan, I'm wondering if that's your old car.
they could find parts, but they have to be new.
No.
Right.
So in order for the insurance company to fix it, they have to be new. So,
Oh, interesting.
right now, we have just enough trucks for everybody here. Been working this out, and we're getting money back from the insurance company, and trying to work everything in to see how everything would work out. The plan would be to work my truck into the electrician's. He says he would utilize a truck more than a van. And I said, that's fine, so to work my truck into him and then replace mine with a, like an Explorer type, that would save us in our capital in 2028 and 2029 about $107,000.
Wow.
So Sandy and I are gonna work together to see if we can come up with that money in our budget for a replacement. But in the years to come, his vehicle was going to be replaced and mine was going to be replaced. But if I work mine into the fleet, then it will save about $107,000 in our capital in years to come.
Right.
So,
Okay. I was gonna say, you don't anticipate that we would need an additional vehicle down the road?
not right now, no.
Okay. I'm just thinking of the
So-
cycle of getting approval and,
Yeah, no, so we would actually take those two vehicles out of the capital plan.
okay.
So that way it would, yeah, we'd save.
That's
We
great.
we had budgeted about $145,000 for that in our
Yeah.
capital plan. And the new vehicle would be right around $38,000.
Wow,
Okay.
And so it would come to a savings, and I think that would be great.
nice.
For sewer, Phase 3A is anticipated to be bid sometime this month. And so that's what I have for superintendent's report.
So I have one question for you before we go to commissioners. What's the status of our water rate study and the prep for that with Dan? We're engaged for that.
So we're looking, right now, we're getting a anticipated cost from GHD on what the whole project is going to cost. And we're gonna take a look at those and set up our water rates for a presentation here.
So ballpark, when are we looking at a timeline on this project? Has Dan done anything yet?
He's looked at our capital, but
Yeah.
we're also need what
Yeah, I know.
the
Yeah.
project will be, so I'm gonna say by the end of March.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have something from GHD and we'll have a presentation to say this is where we are.
Yeah, and will that include the spreads from like Hilltop on our debt? Because we did our debt kind of loosey-goosey this year.
Yes.
That's a technical term,
Yeah.
loosey-goosey.
Yes. Yes, I say.
Only because, let me clarify that for the public. Because of the delays in the Route 28 project, our projections were old. We need new projections based
I would
on current
anticipate,
values.
yeah, working with Jen and working with Dan, that we'll have a pretty
Yeah.
good handle on
Okay,
things.
all right, so we might be able to
Okay.
discuss those in April, on
Yes,
May for sure.
yes,
I
I-
hate to be down to the last minute with
No,
those.
I
yeah.
don't want to, and Dan and I
Yeah.
have been in discussions for that, so.
Okay, commissioners report, Alan,
Oh, I'm good.
Judith?
No, that's Bob.
No, I looked at you first, yeah. But thank you for that.
Oh, no, you're staring at him.
I didn't see you staring at me, sorry. I don't have anything.
Okay, so I have a couple of things. I finally heard, right before the blizzard, from legal representation. And I didn't jot his name down here, but I believe it was the new fellow who's gonna be in charge for KP Law, who was Greg Garbo, I think, but if I've muddied that name up, I'll correct it at a future meeting. Of course, it was so many months, 4 months after our original request. Naturally, I wanted, the ideas aren't even fresh in my mind after 4 months, and I wanted to talk to you folks. So, spoke to him for a little while. We have two separate areas. The one area is some minor questions related to charter, for us giving our recommendations to the charter committee. as we did, just to clarify any questions, any legal questions in relations to charter. That was my original thing. I know there were board members who were very interested in some other issues. And Greg was very nice, but naturally he can't answer questions until he has questions. So I would ask that the board send to me in writing what legal areas you are interested in discussing with him, and we can put it on the agenda for our next meeting, and, make a plan so I can talk to him about what we want covered, how the visit would be, it's kind of like we're back to October, now we're finally at day one.
Does anybody by chance know what date we had this discussion, so I can just go back and refresh my,
Probably October or something.
Yeah, it was late October.
okay.
But that was really mostly about the charter part of it.
Right.
And then Bob,
Specific questions came up, though.
right,
Yeah.
I know.
I don't
yeah.
remember what they were.
Yeah,
Off the top of my head
because I know
either.
they were covered like under other issues and things like that, but
Should
it's
we
been,
put it on the agenda?
Yeah.
Next time?
Yeah.
To talk about the stuff?
well, I'd like to get your comments in advance so we
I
can
I
form.
have to look.
Yeah,
I wrote down, I made notes on it, so I definitely will look.
Well, I would like to get your comments in advance. If you're able to do that, great, so we can have a fuller discussion, but it will be on the agenda next month.
Okay.
That's one thing, and the only other item I have is to tell the board that I'm stepping down as chair. I'm just plain worn out, and I've accepted it. It's been 2 years, and I honestly only thought I would make one. It was 2 years ago that Dan resigned, Gary's work schedule changed. It's been 2 years, so you're allowed to reorganize anytime you want, just as Julie Kavanaugh did last year. There'll have to be another reorganization after the election, but on our next agenda, there will be board reorganization on that, and I'll be stepping down as chair. So that's just to give you a little heads up.
Well, that's one way to end the meeting.
Any other comments from
Let's go.
commissioners?
It's called the wrap-up. Yeah.
But I think on that note, it's something to think about.
Yeah. And you have done extraordinary work in
Yes,
extra
you have.
extraordinary
Thank
times.
Thank you, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna wait till after the election, but I'm done, I'm worn out.
So this is
And I'm
March. We have, what, realistically,
Wait.
how many meetings do we have left before new board?
3?
Well, also,
You know what? Maybe I'll change my mind and run again.
yeah, there you
I look at
go.
the signatures.
I'm done. I've been doing
You
this
know,
stuff for 50.
this, let me just point out here, since I officially stepped down, this woman who has said, I'll get your signatures now probably a dozen times, is the woman who called me the day before the signatures were due in and said, Noreen, what should I do? Should I stay out for another hour? And I said, Judith, you're telling me you don't have signatures yet, and it's April, and you took out your papers in January? But she did get them in.
I was gonna say, she's here.
So, any other comments from commissioners?
No, when are we meeting next?
When are we meeting next? That's the question.
It's already March, I can't believe it.
I know
I
it.
know.
When are you going away,
I live on
Bob?
the 19th, I decided.
And I did have the signatures, it was just the buffer.
Oh, the
I
buffer.
only had a
right.
12 signature buffer, and that can be sometimes a challenge.
That's right. I'm just warning Alan, if he's gonna rely on you for signatures.
Don't
it
be
might
fresh.
I'm having
I might
fun.
vote you back in as chair.
I'm declining.
Well, you guys keep this up, I'm over there.
Getting to the point of-
Entertainment.
It's getting to the point of being indentured servitude at this point, so, no, thank you. Excuse me, what are your dates?
I leave on the 19th through April 7th.
April 7th.
Someplace warm, I hope?
Yes, well, I'm gonna go home and see my family in California.
Oh, nice.
They
All
keep
right.
teasing me.
So, I was gonna suggest a meeting of the 24th, but you will be gone. Maybe, maybe we have to start doing every 2 weeks for a while. I mean, I don't know what else to say. If we do St. Patty's Day, the 17th, that could be one. Let me just look at, where the 7th
That could be
is.
kind of fun.
What, dear?
St. Patty's
Yeah,
Day.
corned beef and cabbage. Yeah, we'll have some.
Make some green beer.
Are you available on the
Yeah,
7th or
yeah.
back on the 7th?
No, I'm on the 7th, I'm back.
Okay, so if we did the 17th, then we could do 1, 2, and have the 7th tentative as the follow-up, if you're,
The 8th would be better for me, but,
well, that's too far away to,
okay.
um,
What's at the next one?
right.
17?
St. Patrick's Day, is that what we're doing?
That works good for me.
And I'll call in if I'm up with my mother that week.
All right, so that's
17th?
St. Patrick.
St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day,
St. Patrick's
honey.
Day.
Nothing like a good Irish water meeting.
I would have made you green cupcakes, but maybe before I go north.
What time?
9 o'clock. And John should be back by then, he was traveling, he's coming
Okay.
back the end of this week, so I'll have John
Oh,
back.
good,
Huh?
yeah.
And maybe we can move that out, we'll talk about it on the
Yeah,
17th.
okay.
Yeah. See what happens then, so.
Okay,
If nothing else said, I'll,
I'll make a motion we adjourn.
So moved.
all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Do you want this?